So listen, we're going to finish out these zodiacs and see what it do. Okay? Holy Spirit ancestors. I'm gonna try to just get two. I'm only gonna go through the shuffle once, unless I get a duplicate. You got a Cancer, and you fell in reverse, Cancer. And a Scorpio. So I don't know why, but I'm being led to pull out these legendary ladies. So we're gonna start with you, Cancer, in reverse. Moon in Cancer says a sensitive, introspective phase, belonging. So it's in reverse. So Cancer, you could be all in your feelings, you know, feeling like you don't belong or trying to find where you belong at. Take the message however it resonates. If it doesn't, hey, check out one of the other zodiacs, okay? But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see why they had me pull out this deck here for you. Mm. So we got Morrigan, Rhythm, and Eos, Light. So that's dark and light to me, just because the card is dark. But it looks like you're fighting your dark and your light side. Who that is? Chachi, whoever she is. She's at the bottom. But it looks like you're fighting your dark and your light. Because the light is running away from the dark, and the dark is facing opposite of the light. So you could be trying to figure out how to blend the two. Yeah, we got Rand Focus. I think that's Arakura. And Durga feel like that. So you could be, you need to set up boundaries. Not that you could be, but you need to set up boundaries. Y'all, I can't see the chat, so hello, chat. You're welcome. But yeah, you could be you need to set up some boundaries. You're not setting up boundaries because blooming came before boundaries. So you need to know what the boundaries are. You need to tap into your dark side. You need to get in rhythm with your dark side. Or you might need to get into rhythm with your light side. Okay, for somebody, you need to get into rhythm with your light side. You might be too in rhythm with your dark side, you know? So you need to know what the boundaries are, know what the rules are, what the limitations are. Yeah, Parvati, spirit. Y'all, I'm outside, so if y'all see my little duck friends, here they come. They might bypass me, but they coming to be nosy and shit. But yeah, you need to tap into your light side. You need to you need to request. You need to ask. Who are your light bearers? Because I can't tell you who your light bearers are. You might need to ask Eos to show you who your light bearers are. Now, for those of you that are new, I don't want you to think that you're going to get an immediate answer. It just could come with something that you're doing during the day, and you might see something. You might see a name, and it's a unfamiliar name. And with that unfamiliar name, you go look it up and see what it means. That could be your guides calling to you. But yeah, you need to tap into it. You need to set up. You've mastered. You've mastered the dark, okay, baby? Whoever you are, you've mastered the dark. So now it's time for you to tap into your light side and master. That's what you need to focus on, your light side. Okay, you need to blend the light with the dark. But there are some boundaries that you need to set up. You might be done crossed the line a little bit too much. You got Tai Chi, which is luck. And she always reminds me of Lady Justice, okay? So what I'm getting is you've been using your dark side to produce luck. That's all you've been focused on is luck, okay? And see how she has the blindfolds on? She's blindfolded because you've been doing just about any and everything in your dark side, okay? You've been doing just about anything and everything in your dark side to bring lady luck. With that blindfold, you ain't seen nothing. You had no boundaries. So yeah, you need to set up you some boundaries, baby. Yeah, and my cards are upright, but it feels like I felt something crawling on my arm, child. Okay, but ex exo cheek, huh? Okay. Gratitude is at the bottom, but gratitude is in reverse, okay? So yeah, you need to tap into your light side, because evidently you've been thinking everything that you've been getting is because of your dark side. You've been thinking that, you've been working too much in your dark side to get lady luck. So you've forgotten that. I don't know what you did, baby, but you need some light right now, okay? Yeah. We got the muses, inspiration. And she fell on spirit and luck. Yeah, so you it's about time for you to tap into the light side, okay? Somebody's saying, I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Well, that's a question that you gotta ask your spirit guides. And like I said, if you know any names or that you associate to light, hell, even call on your dark side. Call on your dark side and tell them to show you the light, because even though it's dark, it has a light, okay? The opposite of the dark is the light. So even though it's dark, you can still ask them to show you the light side. I mean, they don't have a choice when you petition them. They gotta come, they gotta answer. They can't deny you. They can't deny you. They gotta they have to show you. If you ask them, I don't care if it's Beelzebub or whoever, Baal. I don't care who it is. If you ask them, they gotta they gotta get it to you. Now you gotta pay attention. That's why Ron come in, because you gotta focus. You know what I'm saying? You gotta focus. Due to the fact that you gotta focus is because, they can send you the light, but they'll send you the light in the dark form, and you'll go and research that light, but you'll get the dark side, because that's what's going to pop up first, the dark side, because that's what they're known for. But then you got to go a little deeper. So yeah, you got work to do. Okay. We got Kunyin, compassion. So yeah, that's something you might need to work on, is compassion. You might need to, I don't know, shit, you might be in your dog so damn long or so much to that you ain't got no compassion. You ain't got no compassion. So if you want to call on somebody, call on Kunyin and ask her to show you, compassion, send you compassion. just be looking for your answers anywhere, out of anything, just, I don't know, you could be outside, or you could be taking a walk. You could be driving in your car and you see a hawk, or you see a duck, or you see, and then, hell, you see the gator, okay? And then, you look up but you're gonna get answers, but you gotta focus. You gotta pay attention, because look, Ron has a net, and in her net, we don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's everything she's focused on, and she's dragging it, so it got to be heavy. Okay, she got plenty of pearls and jewels on her. Tara. So you might need to call on Tara too. You might need some protection. Like I said, I don't know what you done did in the dark, baby. But you might be done did a whole bunch of shit. Okay? Take it how it resonate, but you might be done, you did pop up. Moon in Cancer in reverse. Okay? You might be done a whole bunch of shit, baby. You might need some protection. I don't know. Maybe you've been calling on your ancestors or somebody, the Holy Spirit, I don't know what you done did, but yeah, you might, yeah. Tara might be telling you, you got to show compassion. I don't know. You might be done hurt some people, And when I say hurt, I don't necessarily mean physical hurt, but, when you do anything ill will towards somebody, that's a hurt, okay? One more shuffle. Yeah, I guess my gator, he going by, because she going by. I don't know what it is. Came and be nosy and turned around. You got inner strength. You got Kali at the bottom, your shadow. Yes. You in battle, baby. Whoever you are, you in battle. Okay? And it's gonna take some inner strength, okay? You in battle with yourself. You in battle with your side. It's gonna take some inner strength for you to I don't know, maybe you called on Kali. Okay, now you got the charm, Kali. You got the charmer, baby, because you done sent her out on a mission before. Okay? You done sent Kali out on a mission, and now you want her to subdue. Okay? Now you got to seduce Kali. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean, necessarily sexually, but you're going to have to, Kali is raging. Okay? We got Allah here. Morality. Yeah, you're going to have to, you about to go to court. You about to go to court. I don't know if it's physical court, but you about to go to spiritual court. Creative luck, baby. You better get you some creativity. You better find something, because, it sounds like your conscience is calling you. Your emotions, your Cancer. We got Scorpio. Let's see what we're going to do for you, Scorpio. They say a change in your emotional life, transformation. Oh, I got the answers crawling on my own. Y'all see me keep moving. I'm trying to stop the answers from biting me. So, Scorpio, a change in your emotional life, transformation. Holy Spirit, ancestors, what's the message? Y'all, I was sitting here wondering where my gator went, because he don't bother with the ducks, he don't bother with the birds, and I'm like, well, what do he eat? Or she eat, whichever one it may be. And it's like the Holy Spirit say fish. We always think of, I always thought of a gator as carnivores. The teeth make it look like they're carnivores. But sitting here, that came to him, and she been eating the fish. That's what the fish, and that's what came to him. That's what fish were made for. The fish were made to eat. They were made for consumption. Sidebar, it's a message for me. I just decided to share it with you guys. Scorpio, what is the message? Yo, I'm gonna share this with y'all. Yesterday, me and my son, at the end of that message, I marked it private. So for those of you that saw it, the beginning, the he say, after I had to cut the reading off, he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm talking about you now." But anyway, he's in case he watching, because like I told y'all before I came on here, I was on Facebook, and they never acted like they read. They watched my messages, because they've been whatever, but they never. They never hinted on that they watched my message, or they might have, if something resonated to them, they never hit me up and was like, "Mom, was you talking about me on that message?" Because I would have explained to them, "No, baby, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about anything. I'm just giving the message that's been given to me to give to the people. And if you happen to be one of the people and it resonate with you, then, baby, that means you need to check yourself. You need to go within. That's God. That's the Most High, the Holy Spirit, the ancestors. They're talking to you." But I never knew till yesterday when he was like, "Who talks about their son?" Yes, I have a very dramatic, okay, son. "Who talks about their children on Facebook?" I say, "What? What are you talking about? I never talked about you on Facebook." And he was like, "Yes, you did. Go back and listen to your messages on Facebook." And I was like, "I ain't never called your name. I ain't never said I'm doing no message, about none of y'all." And he was like, "Yes." And then it dawned on me. I was like, "No, that message just resonated with you. But when I did the message, I wasn't thinking, I was not thinking about you. Hey, I'm giving the message." Oh, it pissed him off. I just had to share that with y'all. I'm sorry, Scorpio. So maybe somebody think that I'm giving messages about them. No, I'm not. Okay? I'm not. If the message resonate, take what you can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Whoever your higher authority is, then you go to them. And if they telling you that, yeah, she talking about you, they telling a motherfucking lie. Okay? They telling a motherfucking lie. And I'm telling you they telling a lie, because ain't nobody face, name, or nothing. Now, sometimes when I get deep into a reading, a certain part will resonate with me. But to be particular about, no. So if y'all think that, then baby, you ain't right. It ain't real. I'm telling you what to do. Go check yourself. Go look at yourself in the mirror. Okay. But we got the star card, felt sideways for you, Scorpio. A change in your emotional life. You stuck, baby. Whoever you are, you're stuck. Transformation. You're stuck. You are stuck. You're stuck. You're stuck between your hopes and your wishes. You're stuck between your spirituality. You're stuck. You're stuck because and I don't know why I said, but you don't know how to combine the two. You're trying to figure out. You're stuck. So you could be somebody that, you might have been brought up in Christianity and warped over to spirituality. But some of the Christianity still coincides with you. So you don't want to, you done warped over to spirituality. And, they say spirituality, oh, if you're real spiritual, you don't believe in Christianity and, all the other religions, whatever religion it may be. But that's a lie, because wherever your foundation starts, you never lose. You just figure out how to blend. What don't blend, you leave it. Okay. Now, when you expect, and I'm just saying Christianity because that was my foundation. My foundation was Christianity, okay? And I don't care what nobody say. I know what's real and I know what's fake, okay? I know everything in that book, that Christianity book. I know everything in there is not fake. So how can I degrade a book if I can find one piece of good in it? I just take what I need to take up out of it. Use what I need to use up out of it. Get the understanding, the proper wisdom and knowledge from out of it. Because there are other books. That's not the one book. And spirituality has taught me that. Well, I guess I always been a little spiritual because that was always my train of thought. I knew it was more to the Bible than what they were projecting. And when I would ask questions, you know, if you come from Christianity, you don't ask no questions. They tell you quick, don't you don't question God. You don't ask God why, bitch. Why not? See, that's me. Why can't I ask God why? Because you just don't. You grew up in that household. You just don't. No, that ain't right. That's like some dictatorship shit. And y'all sitting there saying God is a God of love. And that don't sound right to me right there. I can't. Y'all talking about father. You mean tell me, I grew up in a house without a father, but I had father figures. But you mean to tell me, and I asked them questions. Shit. I asked them, shit, the fuck. My grandchildren ask me questions. Sometimes I have to tell them like they told me because I said so. Okay? When they get a little older, then I'll explain it. But anyway, Scorpio, you stuck, baby. Okay? You stuck in your spirituality and changing your emotional life. Transformation. What else, Holy Spirit? What else? Anything else? My dear Scorpios. One more shuffle. King of Swords. So you scared to speak your truth. You scared to speak your truth. You scared to be bold in your stance and balancing your scales, not no one else's scales. You got to balance your own scales, okay? That's why you stuck in a change in your emotional life. That's why it's time to, transformation. Because you see those scales, they balance, okay? That's truth. That's logic. So, you stuck in between expressing yourself, balancing your scales. What else? Seven of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles. Okay? You're lying and you're deceiving yourself. You lying. You lying, you're deceiving others. But you're also lying and you're deceiving yourself. Okay? Yeah. And let me tell you how I know you're deceiving yourself. Because look. You got your fingers crossed behind your back. When I looked at it from a different perspective. But you got your right arm going all the way over your head. So you're portraying yourself to be, that's like a halo. You're portraying yourself to be something that you're not. Okay? You're fooling a lot of people. See that one sword? It's crooked. It's wavy. It ain't straight like the other ones. So you're out here portraying yourself to be this angel that you ain't. Okay? Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck for some kind of foundation that you're trying to build. But you will never build that foundation until you transform. You got to transform, baby. Okay? Anything else? I don't know if y'all can see this here, but I'm going to show you just how it fell. Judgment fell on the star card sideways, just like that. Okay? You being judged. You in judgment, baby. You in judgment. You're up under judgment. Okay? And you calling to two different people for help. To help you out of your judgment. Your spirituality is being judged. See, you can fool man, but you can't fool the Most High. You can't fool the ancestors. You can't fool the Holy Spirit. Okay? Now, if you coming from a Christianity background and you believe in the Holy Spirit, then you need to call upon the Holy Spirit. You need to call upon the Holy Spirit and ask for help. Okay? You need to call and ask for understanding. You need to call and ask for some guidance. You need to call and ask for some wisdom. You know? And you need to ask for this in your spirituality. That's what you need to call for, guidance, help in your spirituality. And you can't fight the knowledge that's given to you. You got to accept everything and evaluate it and look it over. Yeah. If you want an 8 of Wands. Okay? If you want to move on and make wise choices. The Hierophant. If you want mercy and grace. If you want a hangman, a situation, you want to cut the ties that bind you. You got to get proper knowledge, proper understanding, proper wisdom. Okay? About time for you to start getting it together, baby. 2 of Wands. Get your shit in order. Okay? Scorpio. That was it for you. Okay? I'm going to end that. And I'll be back, y'all. Because I got 4 more zodiacs to do. So I'm going to end that. Make this a video. Scorpio and Cancer in reverse. So I will be back, y'all. But until then, y'all already know what it is. Peace, love. Don't forget to have grease. Later, babies.